Good morning. It's a pleasure to be here, and I want to thank Raj and the Devex team for convening such an important event on closing the SDG funding gap. I'd also like to extend my thanks to Microsoft for sponsoring the session on closing the digital divide. It's always a pleasure to be in London. I was engaged to my wife in London, which was a big win for me and at least a tie for her. Well, listen, my name's Carincross. I'm the CEO of the Millenium Challenge Corporation, or MCC. And for those of you who aren't familiar with MCC, let me give you a quick primer. In 2004, President Bush decided to change the game in the fight on global poverty and created the MCC, an agency that would implement U.S. foreign policy and aid development differently by working to reduce global poverty through reducing poverty through economic growth. To execute this mission, MCC relies on data. We do this in both how we select which country we're going to work with and how we operate once that selection is made. The selection piece of what MCC does is designed to consolidate democratic reforms and is based on analyzing objective third-party data on how a country is performing in three categories: good governance, economic reform, and investment in their people. In short, we work with the best governed, poorest countries in the world. When we look at the SDG funding gap, we know this much is true. One, government-to-government funding is not enough. We need to develop finance to crowd in, development finance to crowd in private sector dollars and investment to create jobs and grow market economies. Second, an estimated $5 to $7 trillion per year is needed to reach the UN's 2030 development goals, yet foreign aid hovers around $150 billion a year. There's no way to close that gap and hit those numbers without more private investment. So how does MCC crowd in private dollars? Let me give you a couple of examples. MCC's $304 million compact with the government of Namibia, which closed in 2014, worked to improve the quality of education and training for underserved populations. In that program, we worked with Microsoft to bring broadband access to rural schools in Namibia to connect them to the country's education management system, extending possibilities for e-learning and electronic collaboration. Students and teachers are now able to access electronic educational resources such as textbooks and journals and participate in online classes facilitated by teachers at other schools who are experts in particular subjects. And after our board selected Togo for an MCC investment in 2017, we conducted an analysis to determine what was preventing the Togolese economy from growing faster. An important part of that process was meeting with business leaders to understand what's holding back private sector growth in Togo. And what we heard is this: poor access to internet and communications technology was stifling economic growth. So MCC and the government of Togo designed a program to bring a high quality and affordable ICT service to Togolese citizens by bringing private investment in and developing effective, independent regulation of the ICT sector. The key to greater success is to get private investors involved from the beginning, which is why this is such a priority for us. In Togo, that success will mean connected businesses and entrepreneurs will have ICT tools they need to thrive. And it will help ensure that success continues, that it's sustainable. MCC, our work isn't about handing people a solution. It's about working with partners to build the tools they need to become self-reliant. Our focus is measurable and sustained economic growth. And that, I think, is a great segue to a further discussion on closing the digital divide. In the 21st century, this means finding new and innovative ways to approach and connect more people to the digital economy. Thank you very much.